Hi, this is Alex Fernandez with Bud and Doug Walters Auto Sales. Today I'll be doing a video demonstration of the interior features of this 2018 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive. To begin, we'll cover the touchscreen and what features we're able to access through that. We'll talk about the climate controls for your heating and air conditioning, and we'll also talk about the steering wheel, some of the stocks behind it, things like headlights, wipers, window switches, etc. Coming back to the touchscreen here, we do have a row of buttons beneath it. We have a home button, which will take us from any one feature back to the primary screen where we're able to access the other applications. We have seek buttons for our radio. We have volume and power in the middle. And we have a shortcut button for the phone function for our Bluetooth and hands-free calling. On the screen, we have several icons. Audio, where we would access AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth, auxiliary, or USB audio. Phone, which is where we'd go to plug in a phone for a Bluetooth wireless connection. Projection, which would allow us to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay with a compatible smartphone and USB cable. Settings, which would allow us to change some of the things about the radio, the vehicle, the door locks, etc. And then the last icon there is OnStar, which is a subscription-based service from General Motors for roadside assistance, turn-by-turn directions, and things like that. We're going to enter the audio tab first. You'll see there we're listening to FM radio, and along the bottom of the screen are our presets. To change a preset, simply choose a station you'd like using either the seek buttons below, the seek buttons on the touchscreen, or the tuning direct keypad on the screen of the vehicle. Once we've chosen a station, we simply press and hold in the slot we'd like to use until that station is saved. The source button here allows us to change between AM, FM, satellite, USB, Bluetooth, and auxiliary. And the menu button here allows us to change some settings pertaining to the radio. Going back to that home page, the phone button here, you'll notice we have a couple of devices in there which we can delete to start from the beginning. Pairing a device is really straightforward. You simply open the Bluetooth settings on your compatible phone and press search device. The car will then look for the phone and display it on the screen here to be paired. Once a phone has been paired, it will pair up and sync up things like your contacts, your call logs, etc. And we have the ability on our steering wheel here to answer those phone calls as they come in or decline them, sort of hands-free without having to take your eyes off the road. Going back to our home page, the projection option. Within our settings here, you'll notice we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Those two programs, when used with the compatible smartphones, an Android or an Apple phone, allow you to plug your device into the car through a USB cable. And using that projection icon, we're actually able to display things like Google Maps, Apple Maps, phone calls, text messages, any kind of music or podcasts right on the screen of the car, just as you'd see it on your phone, which is a really nice new feature in some of these newer vehicles. Moving down to the climate control. This is dual zone climate control in this vehicle. We have the driver temperature and passenger temperature here. Simply rotate the dial to change the temperature. To change the fan speed on the vehicle, we have two buttons here, one for up, one for down, and you'll notice a blue light bar filling up as we increase that. Any changes made to the climate control are also displayed on the screen of the vehicle when they're changed. We have heated seats in this particular vehicle, driver's side and passenger side here. Being that this is dual zone, we're able to sync up the two zones so that the driver's control affects both sides, or we can change that passenger side so that they're different and it turns that function off. These three buttons across the top allow us to tell the air which vents to come out of, and we can mix and match any combination of those three. Here we have our recirculate mode. We have auto mode. We have our air conditioning. We have our defrosters front and rear, and then a power button to turn that climate control off altogether. This particular vehicle is equipped with all-wheel drive, which is activated by a button just in front of the shifter. You'll see the lights on. We are in all-wheel drive mode right now. Turning it off is as simple as doing that. You're able to turn that on and off on the fly, depending on the traction needs that you have. This little button here is the parking brake. It is electronic. To set it, you're going to pull up on the bottom of it, and to deactivate it, push on the top of it like so. Moving over to the steering wheel and the wipers and headlights and things like that. So behind here, we have our windshield wipers. Click down for a single swipe and move up for the different speeds, intermittent, low, and high. When intermittent is set, we're able to adjust that using this twist dial here. Rear wiper, we have 3 settings: off, intermittent, and on. And for the sprays for our wipers, for the front spray, we're going to pull that stalk actually towards us, and for the rear spray, we're going to push that stalk away. Looking at the left stalk here, that's going to have our blinkers and our high beams on that side. On the face of the steering wheel, we have a control pad here, which is used to interact with the screen in front of us here that shows things like fuel economy information, trip computers, average speed. We have things like oil life, which you're able to reset when it's changed. We have things like oil pressure and tire pressures, as well as buttons for voice commands for the hands-free calling and an option to hang up or decline a phone call. On the left side, we have our cruise control, our on-off switch. You'll see an icon appear in the gauge cluster there when it's turned on. Once you're up to speed, you'd press set. Once the speed's been set, it would display that up on the screen just to show you what you set it at. To accelerate, we'd hit the plus sign. To decelerate, you'd press the minus sign. And if somebody got in front of you and you had to slow down, you could tap your brakes, or you could press the cancel button and then resume once there was nobody in front of you anymore. Down below here, we have our headlight controls. The headlights are automatic. We're able to turn that function off if you don't want the headlights on in that auto function. And we have a dial here, which you can pop out of the dash, which is used to adjust the brightness of the backlighting when the lights are on. On our door, we have our window switches here, and the driver's window is auto up-down. We have our window lock button, and then our ability to adjust those power side view mirrors. Just above that is the door handle and door lock switches. Looking down just a little further, this vehicle is equipped with a powered liftgate, which you'll notice has 3 settings. We have max, 3/4, and off. That 3/4 setting allows us to lower the maximum height of that powered liftgate when it opens in case you had a low-hanging garage or needed it a little lower. To open and close that powered liftgate, you simply press in the middle of that dial right there. This vehicle is also equipped with blind spot monitoring system in the side view mirrors, which allows the vehicle to turn on an indicator light in the side view mirror when a vehicle is present in your blind spot. Just a handy way to keep yourself safe. Up above, we do have garage door buttons called HomeLink. We're able to program garage door openers to those buttons so you don't have to keep your remote in the vehicle anymore. We have a couple buttons here which pertain to OnStar, the voice command accessing OnStar directly, and an SOS emergency button. Notice we have dome lights, and then we have our buttons which can control those dome lights all at once, or decide whether or not they come on when the doors are opened. Last thing up there, we've got a little case for your sunglasses, just to keep them handy and accessible for you. Those are the primary features of this 2018 Equinox LT. If you have any questions, please refer to us at waltersautos.com, or feel free to call at 269-375-7008 to set up an appointment. Thank you.